गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरु विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। कलये सुन्दराकारं सदैकप्रियदर्शनम् अज्ञाननाशकं देवं सद्गुरुं मुरलीधरम्। हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे। Let's begin the satsang by offering our humble prostrations to the lotus feet of our Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Sri Sri Muralidhara Swamiji, because of whose boundless grace we are all here today. Today is indeed a very, very special day, because by the will of our Guru Maharaj, by the divine will of our Guru Maharaj, sometime in late November and the beginning of December, a very rare thing happened in in Chennai, where Guru Maharaj resides, which is he allowed us, that is actually the right word to use, he permitted us to speak about the manner in which he had touched the lives of different devotees. Because normally, Swamiji never allows us to do that. We would never entertain such a thing. So it was a very rare occasion that because many devotees wanted to hear about Swamiji, it started on Ekadasi day. On that day to hear this, that led to this whole thing. So that night, it's Guruji who has answered the call, and I think I am blessed to be here today in the midst of all these bhaktas here to be sharing this. And there's no greater joy than this, than to talk about the Guru, because this is really the purpose of life itself. So I wish to thank you for this opportunity, and that wish that came to you. So which has given this opportunity to share maybe one more time to relive the whole thing. So as I said again, this is a very special day because all through life, since the time we are born, we spend every second, every minute, every hour, day after day, doing so many things, speaking so many things, gossiping, talking about worldly matters, to the point that we almost forget the reason why we were blessed with the tongue itself, because the real purpose itself is lost at times. And that is why Swamiji always used to quote Bhagyanathan while saying that tongue and that mouth that is not used to speak of the glory of God and to chant His names is vile Tirtham, he would say. It's written in Bhagavatam. It's the garbage pit that is found outside of home. And fruit falls in, all kinds of junk falls in, and it just keeps coming out. One difference is there between that mouth, which is used for everything other than speaking of the glory of God, chanting His names, he would say. For us, speaking of the glory of God is no different from speaking about Guru Maharaj. So this day, that day we have made it productive because we are going to think about Him and think about Him, to actually use the tongue for the purpose for which it was created in the first place, to sing the glories of the Guru, to expound on what was titled as Guru Premamritam, His divine leaders. It's been said that the greatest sadhana, the greatest fortune there is for a disciple is to glorify him as Guru. Guru Prakashaye Dhiman, he said. But when we look at it from the perspective of a person like me, like myself, an ordinary person, this sounds too out of context, because who are we to glorify Him in the first place? Who am I to glorify Him? If at all, by the way I express it, I might bring it down a little bit. That is really what can happen. The real thing is so big, it is so great, because He is that Swami. And by way of trying to glorify Him, trying to express it, the only thing that I would effectively end up doing is bringing it down a little bit, but still nevertheless I like to do it very much. So, here we are. Well, speaking of the Guru, it is often said that he is that boundless ocean, that unfathomable ocean, that deepest ocean whose depths can never be known. A little child goes to the ocean and gets some shells from the ocean, from the beach. Shows it to the mother and says, "Mother, this sea is full of shells." He says, "Yes, it's really rich. Yes, it does have shells, but there's another child that goes in that gets some, she spots a lot of fishes and crabs, and she comes back and says that, you know, that sea is full of fishes and crabs." Very true. And then there's the fisherman who goes in and gets the bigger fish, the sharks. And then you have these deep sea divers who go and try to get a pearl. Each of them think and believe that the sea is full of just that, to that extent they could reach. They think that this is full of shells, or full of fishes, full of these precious pearls. But the fact remains that the ocean is far beyond all of this. It has all of this and more, nobody will ever know. That is exactly what the position that I am in, is that of that little child, trying to grasp this little, handful of water, and whatever comes in that handful, I'd like to think that that is really what Guru is all about. But it's way beyond all of this. It's deeper than all of this, and I'm sure that every one of you have experienced it yourselves. Well, speaking of Bhagavan, God, which applies to the Guru also, because we have told it's Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. It is said that God is Sarva Shakta, Sarva Antaryami. He is a Sarvajna. He is all powerful. He knows everything. He is omnipresent. All these things are spoken about him as his attributes. If we for a moment just sit and contemplate on those attributes, Sarva Shakta is all powerful. He knows everything. There's not one thing that he does not know. He is omnipresent. He is present everywhere, inside and outside. The only thing that we are left with at the end of such an exercise is fear. Just fear, plain fear. It just puts you thinking, what am I doing standing next to him? What am I doing trying to talk about him? What am I trying to do? Trying to describe his leelas. That is the only feeling that remains. Like how Arjuna felt after he saw the Vishwarupa of Krishna. That was when he was scared. That is really what happened. But with all these attributes, there's one more very important attribute that has been described of the Guru. Yeah, I'm going to use the word, because it's a circle of bhaktas who understand Guruji fully, I'm just simply going to use the word Guru. For me, Guru is God, God is living word of Christ. So, for Guru, it says that he is an ocean of kripa, of compassion. Kripa Sagara. Because if he did not have this one attribute, we would never be able to get beyond him. That omnipresent, all-powerful, all-knowing God, how will we ever get close to him? It is because he is that ocean of mercy and love that he is. He hides all of this and constricts himself to live in our midst, like almost to the point where we start comparing ourselves with him. To that extent, he comes down. The Guru comes down. Our Swamiji has come down. So it is because of that attribute we are able to get anywhere near him. Which is why, well, speaking of every Mahatma and every great saint, they have always been regarded as the incarnation of some God, as an Amsa of some God, as the Kalavatar of some God. If we want to say that about our Swamiji, I will very confidently say that if we not to call him an avatar of something, I mean that is even not enough. He is Guruji, that is enough. But if we were to say that